Hi, Jesse. What brings you in today?
Well, I'm here to talk about my roommate. Um, Certain things about her have been ticking me off lately, and I just want to talk about it.
All right, what's been ticking you off?
Well, she complains about certain things, like in her everyday life, and as a friend, I'm supposed to be there for her to complain to, but recently it's been getting so frustrating after I give her advice over and over, and she never takes my advice, and I just feel like it's not worth it anymore to give her this advice.
Okay, so you're giving her advice about what?
Mainly, she complains about her boyfriend or like ex-boyfriend, um, and like school and money problems or like body image problems. And I know that's unfixable body image problems, but like these are just the main some things.
Okay, so she's coming with you to seek advice about these issues, and you're giving her the advice, and then what is she doing? Is she just saying, like, thanks, but no thanks? Or are her actions showing that she's not taking the advice? How is she going about not, like, listening to what you're saying?
Well, she'll say like thanks for the advice or whatever, and she'll say, okay, I'm really gonna try to do this now. She goes and she just like completely doesn't do what she says she's gonna do, and then the next day she'll come back and say, oh man, I did this last night, which would be the complete opposite of what we talked about her doing the night before.
Okay, and I can only imagine how frustrating and annoying that can be. Is she doing other things that are frustrating you besides the complaining that maybe like is making it all build up?
Yeah, she definitely is. She's taking me and my roommate's stuff without like reimbursing us or asking us or just like letting us know she's gonna use it. She also does this thing where she talks on the phone on speakerphone in the living room while we're all together, and it just gets really frustrating. She does it all the time, but I am not a confrontational person, so I'm not going to say something, and that's also a reason why I wanted to come talk to you because I just need to let it out.
Okay. Do your roommates feel the same way, or do you find yourself being the only one that feels this way?
I feel like my roommates feel the same way. Um, my immediate roommate definitely feels the same way because we vent to each other all the time. But the roommate who rooms with her, um, she hasn't expressed that she feels the same way, but
Okay.
I noticed that her when she goes to give advice to the roommate who needs it, she's very like shut down. She doesn't really give advice. She's over it basically.
Okay. Now, when she's taking your stuff from you and like not reimbursing you, are you saying like, "Hey, that's mine," or are you just kind of like letting it slide and like just like thinking like, "Oh, she's my roommate, like it's okay," and is she doing it often?
I don't say anything because I'm not a confrontational person, and I feel like maybe it would be fine if I said something like she would stop, but also like we were friends going into college, we were friends last year, and I feel like um, I don't like I would be perceived as a bad person if I wasn't openly sharing my stuff with her. So I just kind of let it go and just um, I don't to make it even. Sometimes I ask her if I can take some of her stuff, or I don't know. I just feel like saying something to her would not go down well.
Okay. You did just say that you were friends with her before college. Has she expressed this type of like attitude and like not listening to what you're saying before, or did this just kind of come up this year because you're living with her now?
Wait, can you reword that?
Yeah, like
Sorry.
hold on, let me like
Yeah.
okay, so you said that you knew her before college. Were these issues apparent then? So it's been going on for before college? Like this type of like you're giving her advice and her not taking it, and her taking your stuff and her not reimbursing you.
I definitely think it was happening before,
Okay.
but it wasn't so apparent because we didn't spend so much time together. We weren't in the same living quarters. Like now it's so apparent because we're so close and we share everything.
Okay. Do you think she is aware of her actions? Like, are you expressing annoyance, or do you think she has no clue what she's doing?
I definitely think she's aware of it because recently she's been making statements like, okay, guys, here, I'm going to bore you with my problems again. Or she'll be like, okay, I need some advice again. I'm sorry to bring this up again. Like, things like that. So I definitely think she's aware, but sometimes it seems like she doesn't care that we're fed up with it because she just keeps going on and on about it, and she keeps asking us for advice when she doesn't take it.
All right. Is she, like, you notice she's only taking her own, like, her gut feelings about the situation? Okay. So do you have a hope or, like, wanting to talk to her, or are you just, like, pushing this aside?
I feel like it's definitely run our relationship so thin that I kind of feel like I've seen her true colors and I understand what kind of person she is now. So it's not that I don't want to be her friend anymore. I just want to distance myself from that. And it's hard, obviously, because we're roommates. So, like, I can't do that yet. But, I mean, there should be some sort of hope there because I have to live with her for almost a whole another semester. But I just don't know. I don't feel the motivation to fix things. It's just my own annoyance and like bottling up of problems, I guess.
Are you living with her next year?
No, I'm not. We're living in different places.
Okay, is that because of these issues or just different friend groups?
I definitely think it pushed us to live in different places. Like, I think if things went better this year, we would have definitely lived together next year because we talked about it in the beginning of the year this year, and then things got so like wedged between us that we definitely sensed the tension and we just never talked about housing together.
Okay, and because of the living situations next year, do you think maybe she is aware of what she's doing, or maybe is just still kind of like has the mindset everything's okay, we're just living next year, or do you see a hope that she is realizing the effects it's putting on you?
I do think that because we're not living together next year, she definitely realizes that these problems are what caused that. But again, I don't feel like she like cares really. Like I don't think that would drive her to change. Like she seems so wrapped up in her own world that she won't be driven or motivated to change her ways to make us or me feel better or listen to.
Okay, well, I can definitely feel for that and see how annoying and like frustrating that is. But I do think for next time that we should address like a plan on approaching her and maybe like sitting her down and like just telling her just like the small things. We don't have to like start huge and like pick at her like everything she's doing, but just addressing the small little issues about like things she's taking that are yours and not like reimbursing you, and other little like tidbits here and there that you find yourself maybe thinking about and you know it's an issue that you want to address. So I think we should definitely start small and then see where it leads us.
I agree. That sounds like a good plan.
All right, great.
Thank you.